What's up, y'all? We are back, episode 28 of the Nashville Stampede Out of the Park Baseball 24 series, and I'm going to title this episode something, I don't know, right, trying to keep the sinking ship afloat because, man, it has been a rough 2 months to start the year. So about, a month into the year, we lost Kira, who was on pace to have one of his best seasons of his career, partially torn labrum. He's durable, but man, he's had a couple big injuries the last couple seasons that have kept him out. So I'm not sure if he's going to be durable anymore, but he was having such a good year, and he was the one guy in our lineup that was doing something. And we lost him, and it was crushing, but we've somehow been able to keep it afloat, and we're 32-23 at this point, second place in our division. We also lost Tink Hens 3 starts into the year to a shoulder inflammation. He'll probably miss the rest of the year, almost certainly. So, $12 million down the drain with him. But, man, it has been so rough. Mike Lesko, one of the biggest busts I've ever seen. The BABIP's really low. There's a chance he can turn this around, but, man, this is not looking good so far. And, whatever. We gave Jesus Montero for him, and we'll see how that ages, but man, it has not been good for Mike Lesko, and Adley Rushman might just be done at this point. He got a little bit catcher ability back, but yeah, he's now like a replacement level player, so we're paying $30 million to him. I'm not going to trade that contract. It'd be smart too, and he probably has some value, but like, I gave him this contract. I'm going to go down with it. And he gave us, 3 MVP caliber seasons, or at least 2, and he was good the first year too, but he gave us these 2 good seasons, and that's kind of what we expected when we signed a 32-year-old catcher to a big contract, 6-year deal, I think it was. But yeah, we've been able to somehow keep this alive. Eddie Els has been one of the best hitters on the team. Only playing part-time. He can't hit lefties, but he's actually hit them quite well in 8 plate appearances. But yeah, against righties, he's mashed. We expected that. We called up Vicente Valderas when Kira went down. He's been amazing for us. I always thought he was going to be a good player, and the first round pick a couple years back has definitely paid off. He was crushing, absolutely crushing AAA, 14 home runs in 33 games. So he's been awesome for us. He's our 4 hitter now. Molinex has kept, been a league average hitter. Frank Reyes got off to a rough start, but he's turned it around, walking at a good clip. And PJ Morlando has been good. He's had a couple of key home runs and a nice little run here. So he's kept his spot in the lineup. Jaden Stroman's been good enough, I guess. Alex Harrington's been bad. This is crap. Gotta do that every time. Carter Smith's been good in part-time duty. Been our second best hitter according to WRC Plus, and besides that, it's been a whole lot of nothing out of a lot of these guys. And Chris Grimm giving him a lot more starts this year. He's been awful. Eric Kennedy, whatever, he's just backup center fielder. And the bullpen has been it's been bad. It doesn't look too bad here, but I've had to call up Mendoza. We signed this guy Carlos Vargas, minor league free agent deal. He's been good, but Angel Chevalier has been one of the worst pitchers I've ever run into so far this season. He's had like multiple just blow up games where he's given up 5 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs. So he's been bad. He's already gotten kicked out of his setup duties, and he could be a DFA guy if he keeps struggling. But we called up Robbie Watkins. He's been good in a couple games. Sam Simpson's been fine. He's not like a big issue, but the guys, Angel Lopez, he started the year in the bullpen. He was horrible, and Jared Simpson was the kind of the same deal, just horrible in a couple innings. So we called up these guys. It's been better, but the rotation's been fine. Graysick has come up and filled in. He's been pretty good. He had a bad start in his first game, I think. It was right here, 6 runs in 4 2/3. But besides that, he's been a pretty quality arm. He had 8 runs here, but only 2 earned. I don't know what to make of that, but yeah, he's been fine. He's out with an oblique strain right now, but should be back in a few days. Milt Allman's been pretty much what we expect out of him. He's gonna walk a ton of dudes, but he'll have like these really good outings that remind you of what kind of a pitcher he can be. Johnny Colburn's been awesome. On pace to throw 213 innings. He's been great. Then Emilio Marquez, he's been good too. He had a couple bad games here to boost his ERA, but he's been the guy we expected. And then Drew Hackenberg's been fine too. I'm getting a call right now, so I'm going to pause this and be back in a sec. All right, so but the rotation's been fine. The whole pitching staff's been turning around, so hopefully we can keep the ship afloat here until Kira comes back, and maybe we pick up a starter at the deadline. We'll see what happens with Robbie Watkins and Steve Graysick. See if they can fill in. We need a start for today's game actually, so they're actually gonna send down Graysick. Oh, okay. He hasn't pitched. Yeah, I'll just put him on the IL if he's gonna be out for a little bit. Bumbright might be ready, so I'm gonna call him up for a spot start here. He's rested. Let's see how he does in his debut here. So against Houston, we get the win. Aiden Harris 4 RBIs. Love to see that. And Bumbright pitched really well, so maybe he sticks in the rotation here. We'll give him another start at least and see what happens. But yeah, we're gonna cut out here. Come back around the draft. All-Star break area and update at that point. Okay, so we're back a little bit earlier than I expected. June 19th here. And Angel Chivilli's been so bad. Continues to just not be able to get anyone out. And my patience is kind of run out on him. So the reason I'm making this trade for Torkelson is that Kira suffered a setback. And, he was going to be back in like a month, and then he had a setback, out for another 4 months. So his season's probably close to done. He might be back for the playoffs at some point. Who knows? Just a crushing blow to this team, and we're gonna be without our best player for pretty much the entire season. So we're still 43-28 somehow, and in order to kind of keep this season alive and have some hope, we're gonna make a trade for Spencer Torkelson, who has had an awesome year in Toronto, coming off a really good year in Toronto last year. He's not like the flashiest name, but he's definitely a guy who can slot in the middle of our lineup and, keep this season alive, and maybe we can get into the playoffs at some point. And they're eating all of the contract. I guess San Fran was already eating 95%, so they'll eat the rest, and they'll get Angel Chivilli, and we'll get Spencer Torkelson. I don't know. We just got to somehow find a way into the playoffs here, and Chivilli wasn't really helping us do that. So we pick up Torkelson way ahead of the deadline and, trying to right this ship and maybe stay alive. Mike Lesko continues to suck big time. So where does this leave us roster-wise? I think Orlando's out of options, and we want Torkelson in the lineup. So Balderas has been too good to take out of the lineup. We have Harris at third base right now. I don't know if I love that. But Torkelson can't play anywhere besides first base and corner outfield. So I think I'm gonna. This doesn't feel great, but I think I'm gonna trade away. See what I can get from Orlando here. If anything, I'm not sold he has any value at this point. He's a league average hitter who can't play anywhere but first base and DH. If I could pick up a reliever, Davovich has been bad, but the underlying peripherals might be intriguing. If there's a ton, I don't know if there's anything really here that I love. That would really upgrade our team. So maybe I'll just DFA him. I kind of like this catcher, Matt Wood. He's making a lot of money, though. They would have to eat some of that. Max Clark, bring him back. Honestly, not completely crazy. We kind of need him. Let's see what we can do here. So if they would eat a little bit of this deal, we might be able to make something work. They eat half. I don't know if I'm willing to give up any real prospects here. That's the thing. So how about 30%? Okay, this is a little more doable. So we could have them eat 30%. Oh, Brooks Wright. Okay, yeah, he always has a lot of value for some reason. He's a guy I can kind of throw into a trade. So they would eat 45%, would still leave us with about $7 million to make any moves at the deadline. So it'd be more Orlando for Max Clark here. And Clark gives us the backup outfielder we kind of needed. Eric Kennedy's just not cutting it. And Max Clark coming back for the team after a couple of years in Milwaukee. And, okay, so this leaves us with an opening at DH, which is perfect. Torkelson can slot in there, kind of push everyone back a little bit in the pecking order, and then we could throw Clark onto the roster, send down Kennedy, bring up a reliever. So perfect. That worked out well. I think I'll give Jay Driver a shot. He's been in our minor league system for the last few years, and give him a shot, see what he can do. So, okay. That gives us the ability to put Clark in the outfield as our backup here. He can spell L's in left field. He's been too good offensively to really take out. Maybe we'll play him every 5th here, and then maybe we'll play him every 10th and left. I can't take Balderas out of the lineup. He's been too good. But yeah, I love how this looks now. We basically got our Kira replacement for the rest of the year, and Clark can play a really good back outfield if we need him. And I think I'm going to take Lesko out against lefties. He's got some pretty bad splits against righties and lefties. I don't know if he's been this season against lefties. Oh yeah, he's been brutally bad. So that works out. I guess we could still play him a bit. He could back up, but not going to play a ton here. Maybe something like that. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, not really the lineup we drew up at the beginning of the year, but I like how this looks. So we get a bopper in the middle of the lineup to replace Kira for the rest of the year, and we'll see how it works out. I mean, he's got 20 bombs in the year. We've really lacked in the power department. But yeah, this will at least keep us alive until the deadline. Then we could reassess at that point. So we'll come back in just a bit and an update. All right, so we're here July 11th. We're 57-34 somehow. 5th in runs scored, 2nd in runs against. Torkelson's been a huge acquisition. 18 games, OPS over 950, OPS plus 160. He's been great so far, and pretty much a new look lineup completely. I didn't think this would shape up like this, but we're rolling with what we got. Frank Ray has been amazing after a tough start to the year. Balderas continues to hit well. Molinex has been great. Eddie Els has been really good. So we're keeping this thing alive. We're still a really good team despite missing a couple guys. Dave McCrabb, who was a guy we traded for last season, a controllable young reliever. He's out for the year, elbow ligament reconstruction surgery. So our bullpen, again, another thing that I would have never guessed this would look like this, but Jax Bishop's been our second best reliever outside of Blanco. Robbie Watkins has moved into a 7th inning role. I'd like to get him a couple starts eventually, but he's been really good out of the pen, and I don't want to rush him into the rotation, but Mendoza's been good, Vargas has been good, Simpson's been, huge. He's had a couple big performances like this one, 4 1/3, hitless, and got us the 2-1 victory after I think it must have been a short start by someone. And then Sam Simpson's, so he's been good. And then Angel Lopez, we called him back up. He's been good since being recalled in a couple of games. Still plenty of holes in the offense, but things are looking a lot better. And the draft is today, so we're going to hop into that. Also, Kikane Atari, the guy that I signed, 30 potential. So interesting on how they calculate that, but the OSA still loves him. I still love him, and we'll see if he can work out at some point. But yeah, let's hop into the first-year player draft here with the 32nd pick. And this guy looks like a beast, 22-year-old, another beast. So let's see if anyone drops to us, and let's see what we got here. So Marquise Hammy, really interesting, high floor for an 18-year-old. Pretty high demand, but we have some money to spend, so I'm not opposed to that. These guys are interesting enough, I guess. Let's look at college guys first. So Corrales is pretty low ceiling. Same with Goodman. Not opposed to him. Tim Beattie's just a reliever. Okay, so this isn't the best draft I've ever seen for college guys, but so maybe we're better off throwing a dart at a high school guy here. So just go through everyone here. Joe Wilkerson's interesting, but I don't know about the changeup. This guy Mike Fisher is also interesting. Got a couple good pitches. I like the pitch makeup. If you're gonna have 3 pitches, this is a pretty good one. And then he's got the high floor at the movement. This guy Fuentes is okay, but he's probably just a DH. Interesting. This guy Movica, big demand, but he's durable. Ton of pitches here, and all like good complementary pitches too. Decently high floor for an 18-year-old. Almost 19. Josh Shields. Interesting. Really good stuff current. The control is an issue, but he has high work ethic, high intelligence, and like 5++ pitches. I really like Josh Shields. Big demand. But again, I'm not going to hold back if we need to do that. So I think I like Shields the most so far. I think that's probably the direction we'll go with this pick, just to get some really good upside in the minor league system. Yeah, so let's go with Shields here. They're just making sure there's no one else. This Brandenburg is interesting, but bad personality, not the highest ceiling. Yeah, it's going to cost us a pretty penny for this. It's going to be $8 million, but I think this is well worth it. The control could backfire. It's not even a high potential, but this is a guy you throw a dart at late in the first round, and hopefully it works out. But yeah, Josh Shields, yeah, highest upside guy that I saw. Let's do it. We'll draft him. We'll offer him a contract afterwards. So second round. This is the 33rd pick in the second round. It's thinned out a bit, but still some interesting guys. Mike Fisher was a guy that I liked in the first round. What is his demand? It's a little bit over slot, which, if we're going to spend big on the first one, that's good. That leaves us like $1 million for this next pick. Josh Morgan's kind of interesting. He only has the 3 pitches. Fastball, sinker, splitter. Not ideal. But he could be a good dart throw type. Jonathan Kizzle, decently low demand. Low floor, but interesting enough. I've really been liking pitchers and drafting pitchers in these early rounds and then kind of figuring out the hitting later. Fastball, slider, curveball, interesting mix. Decently high floor, but he's 21, almost 22. I don't know if that control is going to work out. Juan Ambritz, that's the guy I just looked at. It gets hard to follow sometimes with all these names and guys popping up and everything, but yeah, not a lot of interesting guys here. I mean, we can clear up some money to sign Mike Fisher if we wanted to. What do we have for, like, movable contracts? I mean, just out of curiosity, I'm not going to trade him because, like I said last time, I just want to see if anyone would take 50%. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Oh, yeah. He's untradeable, so that sucks, but it came so quick, his regression. It's just unfortunate. But yeah, not a ton of tradable contracts. How's Grant doing? Love to bring him back for one last go around at the team, but yeah, I mean, it's not looking great. The Max Clark thing, probably could have waited on that, but because he hasn't been really good for us, but it was a win now move. Trying to keep this window open. And kind of maybe a lost year. We'll see how that plays out, but honestly, Jake Wright's an interesting bat. The glove might not play, but if that does take up to like a 45 outfield range, he's playable. The upside with the bat's huge. and his demand is low, which is what I'm really interested in at this point. Maybe go someone with even a lower demand. You know, if you're gonna spend big in the first round, you kind of got to cut corners in other places. Dave Alred, probably not. I love the speed. I love the line drive hitter. The power is probably not going to play, though. You got to have at least like a 35 power to be able to play. And be an effective hitter in the majors, I've kind of figured out. This guy's interesting. Toby Gates. The catcher ability is not amazing, but the floor is pretty high. They always say it likes him a little bit more. I like Toby Gates. I'm going to take him just because his low bonus demand. He's a good enough player that I feel confident that he could be maybe a piece for us moving forward. So we still got to be careful not to spend too much on these next few picks, and then I don't want to take a low upside reliever. That just sucks to do. Bob Shaw's not horrible. I don't like his personality a ton. Tommy Adams just the lowest ceiling ever. Yeah, I got to keep these like under 250,000 probably. So you're just looking at guys with the low demands. Steve Cruz is kind of interesting. He might not ever be a major league player, but could be minor league depth. Elmer Critch, good infield range. Not a high ceiling though. Kind of like Ernie Dick. The high floor, low demand. Can play some corner outfield, and could probably play in high A for me right now. I'm actually going to take Ernie Dick. Really low demand. And we'll see what else is available here. So, Hazel-Grigg is still here. He's a low enough demand that I feel okay with that. Let's draft him, see if we can get him under slot. Kind of flying through this draft. There's not a ton here that I love. Yeah, not really a defensive player at all. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do the rest of the draft off camera. I'll come back with an update on what we did here. All right, so let's hop into the draft. Flew through this kind of quick, but I think we made some decent picks for what we had to work with. So we took Shields in the first round. We talked about Gates in the second. We took this guy, Ernie Dick, in the third. I took Danny Hazel-Grigg in the fourth round. And then we took this guy, Eric Solner. I like his avoid Ks. He had a low demand. I don't know. Maybe he ticks up a little bit and can be a player for us. But we took Andy Luke in the sixth round. Pretty high upside guy, I think, for what you're getting in the sixth round. In the seventh round, we got a nice steal here. Chris Flores, who I like quite a bit for his batting profile. But, yeah, he didn't want anything more than slot, so I took him. Tommy Adams was a guy who was hanging around. Really high floor. Can probably play in high A for me at the moment, which I need because my minor league teams suck. The way the minor leagues are handled by the AI kind of screws me because I try to do it the right way, and they're keeping guys that are, like, should be playing in the majors in, like, high A. It's just stupid. But Danny Holland, not the highest upside, but ninth round pick. And then John Ramirez, a guy I'm not going to be able to sign. He had a demand of like $850,000. I wanted to see if I could pull it off, but probably not likely. And I just don't really feel like moving money around to get him. Jonathan Brawning, decent player in the 11th round. Jared Trumbull, maybe some upside here in 12th. And then, a couple other flyers, guys to fill out the minor league system, make us a little bit better down there. So, yeah, let's hop. Actually, I had to set my minor league rosters and stuff, so I'll cut back around the All-Star break. All right, so we're here at the All-Star break, and let's go over the rosters, see who made it from our team, and see if there's anyone familiar. Aaron Ashby, old friend of ours. Christian Charl as well. Looks like he's bounced back from the labrum. He lost a little bit of juice, but still a really good reliever for them. Nolan McLean, another guy we had. And then other guys, nothing in the lineup that looks too familiar. I mean, a couple of other save legends, Cason Cunningham and Carson DiMartini here. But yeah, nothing crazy in the AL. And then the NL, Emilio Marquez makes it. He'll be starting the game. No other pitchers for us. Carlos Vargas, who's pitched 33 innings for us, makes it. I mean, he's been good, but the relievers are always so weird in the All-Star games, who they pick. But, I mean, we have two better relievers at least on the team. Let me close the shade really quick. Getting like a reflection. Okay. And then other guys, we have Frank Correa at second base. We have... That's it. Wow. Okay. So, not really surprising. I mean, the team's been up and down throughout the whole year, and the offense hasn't been insane. I think Molinex probably should have made it, though. He's had a really good year, and Balderas probably hasn't played enough games to qualify for it. But, yeah, we had a couple All-Stars. I mean, Martin Blanco, like, how did he not make it? Even Jax Bishop, like, he's been insanely good. Robbie Watkins probably, too, but whatever. I guess they picked Carlos Vargas from us. Had a good, not great season. But yeah, there we go. So we have like no money left to do anything. We actually have negative dollars for like the first time in a while. Let me actually 23 always does that. 23, 25. I'm gonna boost my ticket price a little bit. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we don't have much money to spend. I don't know if there's anywhere else we could really make a huge upgrade in the lineup. We already shelled out a lot of prospect capital and money to Lesko and Rushman, so they're stuck on the team. Yeah, Rushman's probably just done at this point. This has been one of the most dramatic fall-offs I've ever seen. From MVP 2 years ago, just unplayably bad. He's now in a complete timeshare with Chris Grimm at catcher. They're alternating days. Grimm's been fine. Better than Rushman's been. And then Mike Lesko continues to suck. So that really hasn't worked out, but there's still hope for that. I don't know. He's been better, I guess. So yeah, the rotation continues to be awesome. Second in starters ERA this year. And that's accounting for like some bad starts from some guys that have been in the rotation. But Bumbre continues to keep his spot. He's been really good. Milt Almonds continued to pitch like a really good arm after a tough start to the year. He's been awesome down the stretch. Johnny Colburn's pitching really deep into games, saving our bullpen. Drew Hackenberg continues to outpitch his ratings every year, which is awesome. And then Marquez has been great as usual. So I don't think there's a ton we have to do with the pitching staff. The offense can always use an upgrade, but we don't have much prospect capital. Well, we do, but I don't want to go trading away everyone for what might be a lost season. The Torkelson and the Clark thing were like, that's kind of like house money. Like, we didn't give up a ton to get them, and kind of just took on money. But yeah, I feel good about what we have in the minor league system coming up. We have guys down in the minors that are playing well. One of those guys being Nelson Grigo, who's hit 30 bombs in AAA and just should probably be in the majors. I just don't have a spot for him. We have Jacob Gonzalez, who I signed to a minor league deal at the beginning of the season. He's been crushing it if we need an infielder. Grady Emerson was up for a bit. He got 32 at-bats, but didn't do much, but he's still like a good quad A guy we can call up. And then we still have Bob Long down here who's hanging around in AAA. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to make any moves at the deadline. We might just see how this team does. We're still like a really good team. Not the powerhouse we have been in previous years. Just, we lack the star power. But we still have a plus 93 run differential, which is second in the league, in the entire major leagues. Oh, this division sucks. But yeah, I think we're just gonna roll out, see what happens this season. Maybe we'll get Kira back early, and he can help us with our playoff push. But best case, he's back for like the World Series, and then Tink Hence is out for the year. That sucks, but. And we lost Dave McCrabb, so like three of our best players and key pieces of the team are all out for the season. I think we should just roll with what we got. So I'll go up to the deadline here, see if there are any moves to make. Maybe someone goes on the trade block really cheap and we make a move, but yeah, I don't anticipate anything big. So we'll be back at that point. Oh, so one more thing. Merton Blanco was a free agent after the year, and I really wanted to keep him. I mean, he's been a key cog in our team for the last few seasons. One of the best relievers in baseball since he came up. We tried him as a starter. He was good this year, not good this year. And then since we moved to the bullpen, he's been amazing. And we just locked him up through an extension, 3 years, 9 per. Very fair for a reliever. And yeah, he'll continue to be our closer moving forward. So I just wanted to pop in and say that happened. All right, so summed up to the deadline. And yeah, I think I'm going to stand pat here and not throw too many eggs in this year's basket, because I just don't know if this is a championship team. And if it is, then we've had better rosters in the past and we've lost. So if we get there, maybe it's a crapshoot and maybe we have a shot. But yeah, we'll leave that all up to chance when we get to the playoffs. Our rotation's fine. Our hitting, it is what it is at this point. There's no one really out on the trade market that would significantly upgrade our team, as a very loud car just went by. Like, there's nothing really out here. Juan Garcia's interesting, but I don't know. I don't have any money to take on salary, and this is kind of probably just going to have to be a team we go into the second half with, or at least post deadline with. Eddie Els has fallen off, but I don't know. I don't think there's a big upgrade to be had here, so we'll roll with this. Hopefully Lesko can improve. Hopefully Rushman stops playing like a negative .6 WAR guy. Who knows? But yeah, we'll leave that all up to whatever the game wants to do. So that'll wrap up this episode. Let's just sim one more game. Make me feel a little bit better. Okay, we went to the deadline with a win at least. Lesko's still below the Mendoza line, a -1 WAR player. Not a great start from Marquez, but there's better things ahead for him. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time, hopefully for the playoffs. I think we'll probably get in, but who knows what happens after that. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.